What's up, GolfersRx? The Golf Yogi here, talking a little bit about balance today. So, any of you that have been following along with some of these fitness videos for a while, you know we've talked about the triangular points of the feet, how we find balance in the feet. So everybody has, again, what we call triangular points of balance in the feet. It's right behind the big toe, right behind the little toe, in the dead center of the heel. It makes a perfect triangle all the way around our foot. So we don't need those toes for balance. So when we're setting into shots, we're looking at getting nice and stable through those triangular points. We're not leaning out here into the toes. So when you see tour players, we rock into it, we get settled, getting ready to hit a shot. We're not rocking forward and backward into our toes. Again, we don't need those toes. So we don't need those toes for balance. We probably need them if you feel like wearing flip-flops. So what we're looking for today here, guys, is I've got 3 poses that we can play around with. It's a little progression, starting to get comfortable on one leg. The more we find balance on one leg, the easier it is to find it on 2. I had a golf instructor for a lot of my life. He used to have me hit drivers off of my knees to work a lot of rotation in the upper body. He always used to say, well, you know why we do this drill, hitting balls off your knees? I knew it was for the rotation. What was my answer though? Yeah, because when I stand up, this game gets a whole lot easier. So the better we can balance on one foot, find that balance, the easier it is to translate that right into our golf swing. So we're going to find those triangular points of balance to start with, and real simple. I don't care if you bring the knee all the way up. I don't care if you take the knee and the foot back. If I had one choice, I'd probably have you bring this foot up, and we're just going to try to balance here. So one thing we talk about a lot in yoga is root to rise. What does that mean? We drive down to go higher. So when we find the balance here, it's not just, oh, I'm not falling over, I'm balanced. This right leg of mine, the standing leg, is driving into the ground as much as that ground is pressing back. So when we drive that foot down, that's how we get tall. That's how we start to find balance on one foot. Again, if you're really working on being in those triangular points of balance, you're not going to be rocking over here into the toes. When you start to lose that balance, the foot should just be able to shift. We find it, we come right back to it. So another place that we can go from there, I love doing these. I work these with a lot of my clients. Basically, we're trying to turn ourselves into a T. We're trying to hinge at the hip with a stable bottom leg. So a couple different ways to do these. Same thing, just 2 different ways. If you want to start playing with this, you can just start to shift forward again, keeping that weight out of the toes, trying to work that back leg up the same height as the chest. So when you go forward, and this is what we usually see in this, people will start to bend, 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 and then start to bring the foot up. We're trying to imagine that there's a rod working all the way down our body. So when we start to hinge forward with our chest, that back leg is starting to come up. A great way to feel this, if you guys happen to have a foam roller at your house at the gym, makes it a lot easier to play around with this. You just put the foam roller between the foot and your hand, start to press back. So we're keeping everything nice and square. As much as we're folding forward is how high that back foot is going up. So great way to play around with the balance there. Again, turning yourself into a T. You can do that 5-10 times each side. Sometimes when I'm working on this, I'll just go down, get it to where we're nice and stable, bring it right back up, and try to work through this without putting the foot on the ground. So we're really making that standing leg do a lot of work here, trying to keep the chest square to the ground, the hips square to the ground. We're not letting that foot come way out to the side. So staying nice and stable with it, right back up there, guys. And then the last one, and I have never given this to any of my clients without all of them laughing and saying, why is this so hard? I promise you this one's going to be tough. All we're going to do, get back onto that one foot. You can bring the foot up. You can take the foot back wherever you want to. Starting out, you might just want the toe only a couple inches off the ground. We're going to get on nice and stable onto that standing leg and just close our eyes. So this is working proprioception, guys. Proprioception is the study of how the body works in space. Basically, I can reach behind me and say my hand is over my head. I'm holding up 3 fingers, 2 fingers. My hand's over my ear. How do you know how your body works when you can't physically see it? So a really difficult way to do that is, again, close our eyes. Pull that foot back. If you start to lose it, just drop a toe. So when you start to lose this balance, we don't want to come out of it and, oh, geez, I lost it, come back. The more we struggle with these, the more benefit we get from them. So when you get up here, if you start to fall, put that toe down, come right back up. Just use it as a little bit of a kickstand. Find that balance. Try to work through this as best you can. The more time you can spend on that one foot finding that balance, again, the more stable we can be, the more balanced we can be in our golf swing. So these are 3 really simple ones, guys. Add these into your normal workout routine. Add these into your stretching routine. Start to get a little more balance. I promise you, you're going to start to find a lot more of it into your golf swing. Hopefully be a little more stable all the way through to that finish position. So as always, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email, mark@thegolfyogi.com. Always here to help, guys. Head out this week, stay balanced, play some great golf.